Lady Evans, Councilman Rutherford, Council Lady Sepulveda, myself, Councilman Pulley, and Council Lady Stiles. So our resolutions I will put on consent. There are 3 of them. RS 2020-653, Ms. Porterfield honors the life of civil rights activist William E. Harbor. RS 2020-654, Councilman Syracuse recognizes J.T. Gray's induction into the International Bluegrass Hall of Fame. RS 2020-655, Withers and others, recognizes November 2020 as Transgender Day of Remembrance in Nashville and Davidson County. Can I get a motion? Motion properly seconded. Any discussion? All in favor? Any against? Any not voting? All right, moving on to late filed items. Council Lady Hurt, a resolution requesting the Davidson County Sheriff's Office and the Tennessee Department of Corrections to identify and segregate incarcerated persons who are at a high risk of complications associated with COVID-19. Is Ms. Hurt available? I'm going to move on. The next late resolution is from Hall, Vercher, Taylor, and others. A resolution requesting Mayor Cooper immediately cease the wind down process at the Bordeaux Long-Term Healthcare Facility and work to secure an agreement with an emergency operator to keep the residents safely in place during the pandemic. Can I get a motion? What's that? No, it's fine. I mean, she knows what time it is. Okay, so what is the emergency nature of this? I think, Councilman Hall, do you want to speak to the emergency nature of the ceasing the wind down resolution?
So we've discussed in other committees this process that's going on and the steps that are being made. There's some progress that's being made in the conversation. Literally, we're sorry for being late. We were just next door in the health and hospitals where we passed this over there. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it's 200 patients or it's 2 patients. We've got to clean up how this process is taking place. And right now, we just don't want to continue rolling the dice and risking lives. People can debate whether or not folks are going to pass away or not at some point. But the fact of the matter is, the faster we do this, the more trauma that statistically happens to these folks. And at this point, we just need to take a beat, stop where we are, look at what we've been able to agree upon, worked out some things today with legal, and hopefully we're in the right path with the administration on the funding that's already in the budget.
Can I interrupt you?
For there.
Because we're not debating the content of the bill, we're debating whether or not it's late filed, and so I need to know why it's late filed.
It's late filed because we're just now getting some things done with other pieces of legislation that are gonna have to be amended or withdrawn. And so this is important because it doesn't matter if anything else we're talking about is financing. We've got to stop the wind down before we determine what happens with the rest of the money that's already there. That decision has to be made. And so we have to stop this wind down, stop the trauma that's happening to these patients who are passing away from it, and figure out how we're going to move forward with the remaining funds that are there.
Okay, does anybody have any questions about the late filed emergency nature of this legislation?
Questions about it? I was just sat through the health hospital social services, and we're really in the middle of this one. And the administration gave plenty satisfactory answers for why we are there. So I'm going to be objecting to the suspension of the rules for this late file motion for the record.
Okay. Anyone else have any comments, questions? No? Okay. That's really all we deal with is should it or should it not be late filed or the suspension of the rules. So that's all we deal with. The next one, Mr. Hall, again, an ordinance to require a resolution of the Metropolitan Council 30 days prior to discontinuing operations at the Bordeaux long-term care facility. You have an ordinance to require a resolution of the Metropolitan Council 30 days prior to discontinuing operations at the Bordeaux long-term care facility.
So that one, I'm going to defer.
You don't have to.
Clean up
You
the
won't have
language
to.
on it.
You won't have to defer it because it hasn't. No, it won't be moved. It's a
Yeah,
late.
we're not going to move that one. We're
Okay.
going to clean it up.
All right. All right. There is a late substitute by Ms. Allen, an ordinance amending Chapter 11.22 of the Metropolitan Code to require landlords to provide notice to tenants prior to termination of tenancy and non-renewal of a lease. Is Ms. Allen here? I think she's in traffic and parking. Okay. So, for the record,
I can explain this.
okay, that would be great. Just the late filed nature of it.
So there was language that came up last night at the affordable housing meeting to clarify one of the provisions, basically whose information would be needed in case that the owner of the property was not the landlord of the property, basically.
Okay, so this is just cleaning up some language?
Yes.
And, okay. All right, does anybody have any objections to this suspension of the rules that obviously will be made? No? No? Okay, all right. All right, elections and confirmations. I know we have a one meeting deferral, I believe, because Ms. Reyna is unable to attend, is that correct? Okay, so moving on to Human Relations Commission, an appointment of Dr. Ben Tran for a term expiring April 18th, 2022. He will fill the unexpired term of Mr. Jeff Gibson. Hello, Dr. Tran, I'm sorry. How are you tonight? Thanks for coming in. Absolutely. So just give us just a couple of minutes on why you would like to serve in this capacity.
I'm very engaged with the community in terms of thinking about affordable housing, racial equity, and other issues around my neighborhood in Edge Hill. And as a scholar and as a teacher at Vanderbilt, I teach the history of racism spanning from the French colonial period in Southeast Asia all the way to contemporary United States. And so this would be a perfect opportunity for me to merge those two realms of my world. And it would be more than an honor for me to serve in this commission.
All right, perfect. Does anybody have any questions for Dr. Tran? All right, all in favor of this appointment?
Aye.
Any not in favor? Any not voting? Thank you so much. We
Thank you.
appreciate your willingness to serve in this capacity, Dr. Tran.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, the last thing on the agenda is a proposed rule change. You can see down in the bottom, we're just going to be deleting the fact that some of the information would be printed on the council agenda. It really is just to make, when we print out our agendas, less pages. Am I correct?
Correct.
I am correct. Okay. Does anybody have any objections to this rule change? Awesome. And we are adjourned. Thank you.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information about this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.